Hello everyone, welcome to Red Snapper. My name's MJ and this is Snap or Pass, where we look at the brand new cards coming to the game. And this week we've got Weapon H. He's a 7/14. When discarded, put this back with -2 cost. In this video I'm going to talk about what I think about the card, give you some deck ideas. It's going to be awesome. Please smash the subscribe button, or just physically obliterate it somehow. Just get rid of it. Just remove it completely and make sure that you're subscribed to me. And if you want to skip to a section that you want to use in the chapters below, you can bloody well do that. But True Legends stay until the end. So in this video we're going to be talking about Weapon H, who is a big hulking combination of like the DNA of Wolverine and Hulk. If you want to buy, I don't know why I'm saying that now actually, we're going to get onto a biography section in a minute, but if you want to get him, you can get him via Seasonal Series 5 Snap Packs for 5,000 tokens, or just buy him outright for 6,000 tokens. If you do open Snap Packs, you can also get the recent Spider-Verse cards, which includes heavy hitters like the newly buffed Spider-Man Noir, which looks really cool now, really awesome. And cards that I like Ezekiel Sims and Man Spider, or Chamber from this season as well, or the Super Premium Season Pass card if you didn't get that, Adamantium Infusion. So there's some good stuff in here. But let's talk about the biography for Clayton Cortez. Yes, I've got the summary in front of me. I'm afraid he's not in the Marvel Encyclopedia, so I'll be reading this from a screen. Weapon H, Clayton Cortez, a deadly hybrid of the Hulk and Wolverine. He's a former mercenary who was subjected to experiments by the Weapon X program. They infused him with DNA from Hulk, which is the Amadeus Chow version, and Old Man Logan, and bonded his skeleton with adamantium. He first appeared in Totally Awesome Hulk number 2022. Number 22. I was about to say 2022. Ultimate cringe. What a stupid man I am. Blah da 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 da. I hope that doesn't become a song. In September 2017. I nearly did it again. I can't say numbers. La 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 la. Fra la 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 la. Anyway, and by the way, guys, I don't know if you're thinking the same thing that I'm thinking. Right, so I look at this guy and I look at the images that I'm presenting you with, right? And you're like, oh right, he's hulked out the whole time. No, he's not. He can de-hulk, get smaller, okay? So when I saw images of that, because I'm not familiar with this character, when I saw images of that, I'm like, hang on, how does that work? Because his bones are covered in adamantium, presumably Hulk-sized adamantium. I mean, look at the claws. If he de-hulks, he's just going to have massive like claws hanging out of his arms. Well, they thought of that, didn't they? The metal, the adamantium in his bones, has got nanotechnology so that it shrinks down with his bones. Absolute madness, mate. They need to be doing... Can't they be curing cancer instead of like making bloody Hulk Wolverines? Anyway, so the mechanics of the card. He's going to fit into, I think, Black Knight decks very nicely, because remember, this is a new easy way to discard a 7-cost card, which we'll get onto, but obviously Sif, and it has 14 power. So take away that Agatha, who formerly was 14 power herself, but no more is she. No more is she 14 power. But also, she was a liability as well, right? Because she was taking control of things, so like, you didn't always have redshift, yada, yada, yada. Weapon H, he's not going to take control of you. So that might be really nice. And then obviously just traditional discard as well is going to be quite good, I think. So, hey, let me tell you about my Irish accent. I tell you... No, stop all of that. So, he can be reduced to cost 0 with 4 discards. And I put in brackets challenge. I challenge anyone to do that. Show me the screenshots of the 0-cost Weapon H. This technically is a secret buff to Cersei, Merlin, and the other transforming cards, because our previous 7-cost pool has sort of got a bit weaker recently, to be honest, guys, with the addition of Zombie Galacti, who... By the way, listen, guys, you know that I'm a Zombie Galacti enjoyer, and this is his season with Maverick coming out, I think, next week. I'm going to be playing Zombie Galacti religiously. But it is at base a 4-power card. So when you're transforming those 6-cost cards, you're rolling the dice heavy on a 4-power Galacti, a 7-power Arishem, but now you can get like a 14-power Weapon H in there, so it's kind of cool. And most frequently, I think this will probably just be played as a 5/14 on turn 5, or a 3/14 another time or whenever. So yeah, I think you'll get 1 or 2 sort of discards on Weapon H. Most easily it's going to be a 1 discard because of the Sif synergy and the implications that that has. And that's fine, you know, that's good. So the pros of the cards. Some of the synergies are extremely strong. So if you also think about that Black Knight, that's such a good synergy. And Corvus Glaive, these are incredibly strong synergies. And this is unadulterated raw power. Can't be bloody I nearly said Shang-Chi, that was trauma. Can't be bloody Shadow Kinged, guys. I don't know about you. I need to get on my podium now. I hate Shadow King. I'm allergic to him. It causes me to... Nah, but serious. Real talk, guys. I detest Shadow King. I barely play him. I'm really not into that life. I just don't like it. You look at the cards that come out these days, right? Last week, the start of the season, I say the last week, like, first of all, I haven't even played the new season yet. Actually, no, that's a lie. I've played 2 games of Chamber. But anyway, first of all, I barely played the new season. And secondly, I'm filming this like the day after the new season. Anyway, this week was the new season. Okay, Weapon X, Adamantium Infusion, and Chamber. All 3 of these cards either get 100% countered by Shadow King, or at least partially countered by Shadow King. Chamber and Weapon X both get 100% countered by Shadow King. But this seems to be the same with every single new card that I release. Every single Snap or Pass video that I make, it's not every single, but most Snap or Pass videos that I make, I might as well just leave Shadow King in the counters, because I just think he's incredibly strong. I think he's become overpowered by this point. So I think he needs to go up in cost, to be honest. I am looking for an OTA where he gets addressed. Let's see if it happens. I don't know. What do you think? I would actually be really interested to hear what you think about this, guys. Anyway, I should really do a giveaway as well, actually, but I don't have time to make the slide for it. I'll do a giveaway soon, so make sure you're subscribed if you want a season pass in future or some other code. Anyway, it's easy to get the ability to trigger, including multiple times. However, some of the cons, some elements of the card are easily disruptible, and when I say some elements, I mean the cost, and when I say disruptible, I mean they play Mobius. And you might draw him late, and he might become unplayable if you do. If you draw him too late to get him discarded, like you just can't fit in the Sif, or you've used the Sif, or you've used the Corvus, you've got no other way to discard him, you've drawn him late, it means that he's sitting in your hand as a 7-costed card. Now, if you've played Corvus Glaive, you actually can play Weapon H, but it means that's the only thing you're doing, and it might not still be good, or you just can't play him because he costs 7 and you've only got 6 energy. It could be in a situation like that. So the counters for the card, I did say this momentarily, but Mobius is going to prevent any cost reduction on your side. But that being said, depending on what you're doing with Weapon H, it might not matter too much. You might still get that discard from Dracula at the end of the game, or you might still get that Ebony Blade and stuff. So, yeah, you might not care too much. But Shang-Chi can certainly destroy and kill Weapon H, so maybe that's a counter as well. However, the synergies, already sort of probably spoken about most of these, but Black Knight is going to be a great one, generating a 14 power Ebony Blade. Lady Sif, I think, is probably the best synergy here, because, first of all, obviously you want to discard Weapon H. Even just getting him down to 5 cost, a 5/14 is obviously just really good. Red Skull is that, and people like to play Sauron Red Skull just to get rid of Red Skull's ability. So, but also the fact that obviously Weapon H is a 7-cost card, so it's almost always going to be the most expensive card in your deck. If I think about something like Hela, obviously that might run Death. But I don't think Weapon H is a Hela card, because, I mean, it might still be a Hela card, but do remember that Weapon H is returning to your hand, so it's never truly discarded, so it's not actually being pulled by Hela. If you're putting him in a Hela deck, you need to play Weapon H out at some point, which you might do. You might be able to afford to play that on turn 5. And then Corvus Glaive is absolutely fantastic, just hopefully hitting the Weapon H, or even if you don't, it's just increasing your energy, and you can still discard Weapon H in another way. For example, with MODOK. MODOK is going to get a guaranteed discard on Weapon H if Weapon H is in your hand. So that's fantastic. And yeah, although MODOK is 5 cost. So yeah, yada yada yada, here we go. So this first deck I've got for you is Discount. And this refers to not only the word discount, reducing in price, but it also refers to Dracula. It is discount. Nah. So, this is a budget deck. Do we have any other Series 5 cards? We shouldn't do because it is a budget deck, but it's worth just glazing my eye over these just to check, and no, we do not. But we've got a lot of cards that sort of like create stuff in your hand. So Swarm, Apocalypse, Redshift, Weapon H. So because of that reason, I thought we'd stick in the budget card Collector. Some of the cheapest costed cards in our deck is like Meek and Black Knight. This is a sort of pretty much a Black Knight deck, although do be wary of that line depending on what you've got in your opening hand, because for example you might have a decent line with Corvus Glaive and that might not necessarily line up with Black Knight. Might not be the best thing to do. If you accidentally discard like a Morbius, for example, the best you can hope for is having Collector down and you get the +1 from Ebony Maw for Collector. I don't know. Anyway, the rest of that's pretty self-explanatory. This next one is called Midnight Mass Discard. So Midnight Mass, like Midnight Suns, sort of like the Khonshu vibes and like vampires, midnight, and yeah, mass discard. I should really just, I think it's actually quite cringe that I sort of explain these names. Anyway, this deck excites me a bit more. This is like a bit of a mass discard deck in that it's trying to discard as many things as possible. You've got cards like Zombie Power Man here who can discard multiple times. Obviously we want that to trigger on the Weapon H. Might be a little bit hard depending on how things stack up. We have got Corvus Glaive, who's obviously going to get a couple off himself. Colleen Wing, hopefully going to discard maybe a Scorn. We've got the newly buffed Swordmaster in here, which can hit Weapon H. You know, because Weapon H is going down by 2 each time, it's always going to be an odd-costed card until it hits 0. However, it can also hit MODOK, so that's just something to be careful of as well, to be fair. Make sure you don't accidentally discard your MODOK. Or if you do, be happy to get it back from Khonshu, for example, if that does anything. Possibly get rid of a Proximo at the end of the game. I don't know. Anyway, yada yada. But you also have another way to generate energy with this deck with discarding X23 as well. So you could get Weapon H down to a 1 cost. No, wait. Yes. 7 to 6, 6 to 5, 5 to 4, 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1. Yeah, you can get Weapon H down to a 1 cost with 3 discards. And then at the end of the game, if you have like generated some sort of extra energy, you can play like an Apocalypse and a Weapon H, for example, or a Khonshu and a Weapon H, for example. Again, just trying to give you some ideas here, guys. So the star ratings, I think overall, yes, I do probably think it's 4-star, really, but I was like, I was toying between 4 stars and 3.5. Ultimately, I've gone for 3.5. But he's teetering on the edge of 4 for me. I do think he's really good. I think from a fun perspective, 4 stars, I think it's actually going to be really good to keep generating back into your hand. For the archetype, this is a great new addition and option for discard and Black Knight, so 4 stars. And from a competitive standpoint, well, I think we'll certainly see him. I've given him 3.5. I think people will definitely be playing him in the meta. Discard is a reliable deck to climb with, so basically I recommend it from that perspective. And so ultimately, I do think he is a snap. I think he is a good card, and you could you can add him to your collection and feel good about it. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new, subscribe. I sort of said that earlier. Hey, if you got this far, stick a watermelon in the comments. And again, I think I've got to add an episode of Simon's Dad here. I just have to. So yeah, I'm sorry that I've starved you Simon's Dad fans for so long. Here is a bonus weird content at the end of this episode. Simon's Dad. Cheers. Okay, so let's play real talk for a second. So guys, I put a video in of Simon's Dad. I put it in, I was editing and stuff, and I was like, I better just listen to it just to make sure it's not like bad or anything. It is quite like bad, like it's got some, yeah, it's just probably not appropriate to put at the end of this video where I'm in a content creator program. So, like, if you want to watch them, like, can certainly do so. I just can't really associate them with this channel. If I'm being careful, you know. But if you want to see them, there is a whole playlist. I'll put a link in the. I can link to it. That's sort of fine. So I'll do that. I'll link to it in the description. But it's on my comedy channel. Long, sort of hiatus-y. I upload on there extremely occasionally. But yeah, Michael Jameson comedy. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll put a link to it. I can't really put them in here. Sorry, it's too much. It's too heavy. It's too much. Okay. Anyway, thanks for your support. I'll see you next time. Cheers.